Hello, Abnormal Family. This is our second and alternate channel. Decided to do it in case we lost our main channel because a lot of main channels are being deleted right now. So this is a fallback channel, and also it's going to be more based on the paranormal side of the encounters. And we're going to start this channel off with a paranormal encounter, guys. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting Bringing Hunter Home. The links are in the description of this channel also, as Hunter is a part of everything. So here we go, guys. It was October of 2003 when my small family moved into a new house. Newly built, so no one lived there before us. It was a cute little blue ranch house located in the middle of nowhere in Michigan. Bright and sunny open floor plan, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 acres surrounded by woods. It was adorable. Perfect. The first thing my husband and I did was set up the nursery, as our daughter was only 6 months old at the time. That first night, it was unreasonably hot. When I got her ready for bed, I grabbed her footy pajamas from the dresser. Then I thought, it's too hot for pajama feet, and I left the PJs on her, changing the table, and then decided just to let her sleep in the bed and left her pajamas on the table. The next morning I woke up to her crying like she was agitated. It was abnormal, so I went to her room, and I kid you not, her feet were pulled through the slats of the crib, and the footy pajamas had apparently floated across the room because the pajama feet were on her feet outside of the crib. Yeah, that was night 1. I didn't tell my husband, as he would think I was crazy. I chalked it up to maybe it was his deceased mother. I tried to forget it, but the activity did not stop. We lived in this house for 6 years, and a lot happened. I will give you the highlights. We had doors opening and closing, faucets turning on full blast, TV and radio going on and off, regular haunting stuff. But it seemed like every time I had a baby, the activity ratcheted up a level. After my first son was born, things intensified. I was exercising in the basement, stretching actually, and something breathed in my ear. Like a violent exhale, right by my ear. Then it started to flick my earrings randomly throughout the day, so I stopped wearing anything. Daily. It started moving things around my daughter's room. At one point, we couldn't get into the bathroom because a vanity drawer had been opened and it blocked the door. At this point, I was terrified, but we couldn't afford to leave, and the kids were too little to know what was happening. My husband, of course, he was a skeptic. I was a stay-at-home mom, so I was there alone most of the time. While my husband was at work, he didn't experience what I did. Although he was there for some of it, he always played it off like this could be normal. Then I got pregnant with the 3rd child, and all hell seemed to break loose. I remember being sick as a dog, sitting on the couch while the 4 and 6-year-olds were snapping. Randomly, a battery-operated toy sitting next to me went off. I thought the batteries must be dying, because battery-operated toys go kooky when that happens. But then another toy went off in the mudroom to my right. Then one went off in the dining room to my left. Then one next to me went off again. It went around and around, getting faster and faster, until finally I broke down and said, "Stop it. You're scaring me." Then everything went silent. At this point, I was staying outside with the kids as much as possible. I felt more secure outside. But one day, I was taking the kids to the library, and halfway there I turned around because I had forgotten something. When we got back home, my daughter's tricycle was sitting in the middle of my parking lot. It was pushed to the spot that I always parked in. It had to be pushed uphill to get there. That was the terrifying moment when I realized it could go outside. We weren't safe anywhere. Then things got more physical. Up until this point, I could tell myself that it was creepy but harmless. Then one day, my 6-year-old came out of her bedroom and she was mad. She was holding a stuffed animal, asking me why I had thrown it at her. Clearly I hadn't, but something had, and she had also started noticing the things in her room were moving while she was asleep. Then one night I was awoken by the feeling of my bra strap being snapped. I thought, was I dreaming that? Right as it snapped again. Nope, that was not a dream. Which kid is doing this? Then I, with much effort, flipped my huge pregnant belly to the other side, looked into the face of nothing. I knew it was there, but I saw nothing. A number of days later, my 4-year-old son was walking down the hallway to show me one of his Legos. He had made an invention, and I saw something invisible shove him into the wall, sending his invention crashing to the ground. He asked me what happened, and I said it must have been the dogs, at which point he went to the couch where the 2 dogs were sleeping at the time and said, "No, no, no. That was bad." So yeah, things were starting to get violent. Then came the last straw. My daughter came to me and said, "Mommy, I think my guardian angel wants to know what I look like when I'm scared." A chill ran down my spine. I asked her to elaborate. My 6-year-old daughter said, "It climbs up into my bed at night and watches me sleep." That has stuck with me. It climbs up. Oh my God, my skin is still crawling. 14 years later. It was at the point that I told my husband, "I am done. I am leaving. I don't care if we go bankrupt. I don't care if we have to live in our car. I am out of here." And he got us out. We bought a second house and moved. We had 1 income and 2 house payments. We were flat broke, but I had never been happier. I was terrified that it would follow us, but it didn't, thank God. Now to my great pleasure, I must disclose, my husband spent a few weeks fixing up odds and ends in the house. By himself, before we could sell it. Without dogs and kids to blame things on, he noticed the weird happenings and admitted that the house was haunted, and he apologized for making me stay there for 6 years. He told me myself I would never enter the house again, but I had to clean it to sell it. So I pulled into the long gravel driveway one last time, parking in my old spot, trying to prepare myself. Things were quiet to start with, but while I was cleaning the kitchen, I asked my husband to pick up his tools in the mudroom. Then I heard him messing around in the basement. I thought, "Of course, he isn't doing what I asked him," chuckled to myself. Then I heard a strange sound from the window, and to my surprise I saw my husband sweeping the garage. Still not what I asked, but I digress. I am listening to boxes being tossed into the basement while watching my husband outside. I just turned up the radio, finished cleaning, and got the heck out of there. P.S. I have some advice. If you move into a place and think it might be haunted, ignore. Don't talk about it. Whatever happens, blame it on the cat, the kids, the wind, whatever. And whatsoever you do, don't talk to it. Don't call it out. That's what it wants. It wants attention. We did have the house cleansed and blessed by an ordained minister before we sold it. Guys, I think they should have had it blessed and ordained while they were living there. If I hear something like that in my house, I'm going to rebuke it in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and get rid of it. And I hear that so many times. People have trouble with this, and it may be because they're not saved or they don't know God. But I promise you that works, and it will work every time. Yeah, they want you to talk to them. They want you to recognize them. They want you to give them power and place. That's something that I don't do. Guys, I hope you enjoy this new channel. It's going to be a family channel just like our other Abnormal and Wide Open Adventure channels. It may not get as many videos as fast as the other ones, as I stay pretty busy with those guys, but it will happen. I hope you enjoy this. Thanks for coming, stopping by, and until next time, guys, don't talk to things in your house. Just get rid of them.